So I'm here with Bobby from Saliva. Bobby, welcome Behind the Bands and Marr, your rock show, man.
Thanks for having me.
And first of all, thanks for the hospitality for bringing us into the air conditioning. God, it's hot out there today.
It is.
Now, have you played this particular venue before?
We have not, but it seems like there's been a lot of great music here and stuff, you know, from country and on, rock and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, it's actually our first time here, and it's one of the more unique venues I've been in, so that's one of the things I thought I'd ask you. What is the most unique venue you think you've ever played at?
We played in a barn before. We played in a barn in Iowa, but there was like, 1,500 kids out there. It was crazy, like in the middle of nowhere. And some of those shows are always the most fun too. Like you'll be like, "Where are we going?" Like I've never even heard of that, but people just show up, you know. So Whiskey was good too. Whiskey's great. I mean, a lot of history there and stuff too.
Get there someday.
Someday we'll make it out there. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
So you guys are on the Rise Up tour. Tell the folks that may not know exactly what this tour is about, what's going on, who you're out with, and how long you're out.
We're just out with really just mainly headlining, other than doing the things like this. We were with Fuel last night. We had a biker one we did not too long ago with Queensryche. So we're kind of just spreading it around and doing, playing wherever we can, you know. So and it ends today, thank God. Last show of the run.
We hear that a lot when we interview bands.
Oh man, dude,
it must be something about us.
What are you gonna do when you get back home?
When I get back home, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hang out with my kids. That's what I'm gonna do. And it's gonna be back to, instead of waking up at 2 in the afternoon, it's gonna be waking up at 7 a.m. to, kids jumping on you.
Now, talking about back home, bands from Tennessee, and the more I run into bands,
I live in Florida though.
But as far as like the Tennessee scene, is that becoming like the LA of the East now? I mean, the more I talk to bands, I just see more and more production and stuff. Or do you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Nashville is definitely a big music town, and everyone's like driven, man, and just focused, and so it's so cool, like how much talent is actually there, and a lot of records are, being done there and stuff. We did our record there in Nashville. We didn't want to go to LA.
Now, I read a quote here that Wayne said, and he's basically said, in talking about this album, it's about pulling yourself up from the bootstraps and making things better. Can you kind of reflect on what that might mean to the band?
Well, we knew we had to make a strong record and a statement kind of record, to get people's attention, So, man, we really focused hard on the songwriting, and we didn't really want an A-list producer or anything. We just wanted to get in a room and write. Like 2 weeks we wrote like 25 songs. So
how do bands do that? I hear bands say that, like, we went in the studio and a song came out in 3 hours. I mean, to us on the outside, what does that look like when you say 25 songs that quick? I mean, what's the process? Does it look like, to me as an outsider watching it? Is it a guitar riff? Is it you singing?
It depends. Sometimes it's a concept. It's usually like, or there's, I pick up a guitar and got this riff or whatever, or Wayne brings an idea, or, Paul had like come up with was telling a story about his ex-wife running him over with a BMW.
Is that in one of the new songs?
She Can Sure Ride Crazy. Yeah. Well, that's how that was a conversation that we were all having at the studio, and we all knew about it already. We were laughing about it, and like this producer was like, "Man, that could be a song." He did like that Dewey Cox moment where he like looked through, So yeah, so then that was like, I had the guitar in my hand and started playing the riff and stuff, and then just started collaborating on the song that way.
Now, did you not begin as a drummer? And like, talk about the shift about being. I've met a number of drummers who are lead singers now. Talk about the shift from moving back there in that role to what it's like being the front man. And which do you like better, by the way?
I guess it's like the Dave Grohl syndrome. I love playing drums. Love playing hard. And it was cool. Some of the bands that I was in and stuff was fun, and but I think there just came a time where I wanted to move out front and sing. I always liked singing too. I just like entertaining, period. So whether it's on drums or on vocals.
I imagine the pre-show ritual is probably a little different when you're a drummer versus a singer. I mean, how much more focus do you have to put into what you do now? No offense
You
to
just-
any drummers in my
You just want to make sure a singer you don't go out there and suck. You know, you don't. Yeah, you don't want to suck at all. You want people to, obviously, you want people to enjoy what you're doing. You want people throwing shit at you, So.
With your guys' set, you never. If that could be done for a good reason, you never know.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
seen some
yeah.
chaotic crowds with you guys before. Can you think of the most chaotic crowd you ever saw as a performer? Like, what was the biggest mayhem moment that you can remember of just insanity amongst a crowd?
Well, as far as the festival goes, man, I mean, we just did one not too long ago. What's up, really? It's Hugo, yeah.
It's all good.
Paul's in the. I'll get him.
Believe me, we don't want to throw him out either.
Yeah. Sarah snapped at him. That's great. Well, Paul should
We
be
have
up
all
anyway,
kinds of
right?
fun stuff
Let's
in
tell
our
Paul that
interviews.
Hugo's.
I think we just threw Tantric out of Saliva's bus. I really didn't mean to do
That
that.
is exactly what happened.
So the chance of interviewing them today is probably about zero now. So.
Yeah, so did a show with, actually they were on it, and with Chevelle. It was like 7,000 people, and it was awesome. The crowd was great, crowd surfing and stuff, and stuff. But I mean, we've played Virginia Beach. Lunatic Luau was great. That was awesome with Avenged Sevenfold and stuff. The crowd was nuts, for us, so it was good. Then there's been like certain biker events. You play like the campground and stuff like that. We did one last year, and it was like 10,000 people, and like the whole front row was like naked, just naked women that shouldn't have been naked. But hey, you know what? They were having fun, letting it all out. So
That fits the bill of my criteria. Some of the wildest shows.
yeah, man. Yeah, so you just never know, man. But yeah, as far as the chaotic shows, man, they're just.
Now, does Saliva's music require a particularly special type of singing voice because there is that flavor of rapish, rockish, moments in there? Is it a different style singing? I mean, I would imagine not everybody can just pick that up.
I mean, I guess it's just kind of like I don't know. I mean, I haven't really focused on the actual style of it or whatever. I guess when I came in the band, it just clicked. It just worked.
Did you have experience with that kind of style? I mean, I know your previous, but
really.
it was a different style,
Not
right?
really,
I mean,
yeah. You just adapt and adjust to it, really.
So, the first time we ever saw one of our favorite bands is Pop Evil. The first time we saw them was opening for you.
Okay.
And I wonder, have you seen a lot of bands that over the years that you can think of that just kind of got their start with Saliva and you just kind of watch them?
A lot of bands did that back in the day. Shinedown, I mean, was a band that opened for Saliva, and Seether, like all kind of bands that were coming out. Seven Dust. Actually, no, I think Saliva was open for Seven Dust, but they toured together a lot back early on, like 2000, 2001, and stuff.
So what's the key to the longevity? I mean, I know you haven't been in the band the whole time, but what do you think the key is to the staying power of this band? Because I mean, you're still got
just kick-ass rock shows, man. And people aren't buying music anymore, so you ain't gonna sell records unless you're like Mumford and Sons. But and I like Mumford and Sons.
So tell me a little bit about Rise Up music video.
Well, there was a bunch of different directors that submitted treatments, and this one guy submitted 2 treatments, and they were both awesome. But one was like Mad Max, and the other one was like different. So we took the other one, the band shots, his visual for that, and we put it in with Mad Max. So we just kind of put them both together, and it was a very fun video to make. We didn't get to our parts until like midnight.
A lot of sitting and waiting.
Dude, they shot our parts like 2 hours. They did all that stuff during the day though, man. They had to wait for sunset and all kind of stuff. Had to be right,
I always wonder, I hear bands say it all the time. They say we were there from early in the morning until the sunset. I always wonder why they didn't just make you guys show up at sunset, but maybe there's more to it that I don't know.
We was like in the middle of nowhere in Miami though. It was like off, like this racetrack road, like area. So it was cool though.
So what do you got after this tour? Are you guys just taking a break for a little while? You said you're just about done for a break.
Yeah.
So what's coming up next?
Well, we're gonna take this next month off, and then we're gonna regroup and go tour again for the next 27,000 years.
The mark of a cool band, man. Always
Oh,
on
man.
the road.
We'll keep
so.
watching you for 27,000 years.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Well, Bobby,
By the time that happens, Saliva will be on their 77th singer.
no, we're gonna keep you, man. Unless they were interviewing Hugo there, who we just kicked out. So I don't know. Unless that's. Hey, man, Bobby, thanks for being here on
Thank
Behind
you,
the
man.
Bands, man.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Thank you.